Have you ever wondered if you're sabotaging your own journey through life? Are you weighted down without even realizing it? I read the other day an interesting story that I wanted to share with you. It's an old Buddhist parable that might just change how you view burdens that you carry.
Go to concerts with your great-grandchildren. That's amazing.
Fear itself is a tremendously powerful lever. And when I say a lever, I mean a chemical lever.
It's not that they don't get heart attacks. They just don't get them when they're 65.
That a regular gratitude practice can enhance many, many aspects of our physical and mental health.
I mean, there is simply no better elixir for metabolic health than being active.
I want you to picture this. Two monks are walking side by side on a journey. One is older and one is younger. And as they're walking on their journey, they come across a woman that's struggling to cross a river. And despite their vows to avoid contact with women, the older monk carries her across the river and sets her down on the other side, and then they continue their journey. The younger monk is kind of looking and a bit confused about things and stayed quiet for a few hours and kept walking in silence, and then he finally couldn't keep it inside and asked, "How could you carry her given our vows?" And the older monk simply replied to him, "I set her down miles back at the river. Why are you still carrying her?" I thought when I read that story, I thought it really does capture a lot of things that we do without realizing it. I thought that this parable really does teach us a profound lesson. Like the young monk, we often carry burdens of our past long after they serve their purpose. So sometimes we go through things and we have negative thoughts or we have negative energy, and usually that can serve our purpose at that time. But when we keep carrying those burdens, it becomes problematic. These burdens could be a wide variety of things, and they could be regrets and grudges or pains from the past. They really do weigh us down, holding us back from embracing the present and moving forward. As the new year is coming in and we're looking at a new page, you should ask yourself, what are the burdens that you're still carrying? Is it a mistake you made maybe years ago, a word spoken in anger, maybe an opportunity that you missed or think you missed? It's time to ask ourselves whether these burdens are still worth carrying. See, the thing with burdens and having these negative thoughts is eventually we forget why we feel this way. And we always have this feeling that's stuck inside and we really don't know why. And if it is something that was major in our lives, then that burden becomes heavier and heavier. And it really does weigh us down to achieve what we want to do. Reading this story for me kind of got me to think that when instances happen that we can't control in our lives and we're in situations that maybe we react in a way that we otherwise wouldn't, then it's always important that after these events happen that we kind of reflect back on them and think, why did I do that? Or could I have done something better? And it's important that we learn from these. And this is how we are able to kind of move forward and grow as humans and kind of build ourselves into better people for the future. Because when we're put in those situations again, we have the know-how of how to deal with them. And we have the experience to be able to react in a different way. And the burdens now, as you get older and as you get more wiser, you're able to leave those burdens or those rocks that you're carrying with you at the river rather than carry them with you throughout life. And I think if these issues aren't addressed, whatever they are, whether they're lost opportunities, whether they're being upset with friends or families, whatever that is, then it always has to be dealt with around that time rather than leave that with you to burden you down and hinder you. Because if you think of it, the whole point of it, the whole premise of you being upset yields to have any point to it because it's just slowing you down. It's slowing you down from moving forward. It's like being tied down to something that you can't move forward. So at the end of the day, every day we have a choice. We can continue to carry these burdens, feeling their weight with every step that you take, or we can choose to set them down at the riverbank of our path. Imagine the freedom, the lightness, and the possibilities that await when we finally let go of these issues that we're thinking about. What burdens are you ready to set down? Perhaps it's time to leave them behind and step forward into the future, unburdened and full of potential. There's always a Stoic philosophy always talk about. And in any situation that you're put in, difficult as you might think it is, the mentality of thinking or putting yourself in a situation where you think that the worst case scenario is, and think, is this as bad as it'll get? And once you realize that it's not as bad as you really think, then it becomes easier to manage those situations. Thank you again for joining me on this journey of reflection. I think the last few videos have been a bit more of the philosophical ones, let's call them. As always, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and if you find that somebody might benefit from this, please share it with them. Remember, the path to lighter, more liberated life begins with the burdens we choose to leave behind. Until the next time, take care and tread lightly, my friends. See you, and we are out.